Good morning and welcome to today's Cabinet meeting. This is not a public meeting, but a meeting that the public can attend. I'm Ros Jones, Mayor of Doncaster, and I'd like to welcome you all to today's meeting. Before we commence proceedings, I'd like to outline the domestic arrangements for the meeting. We are not expecting a fire practice today. If the alarm sounds, please leave the building and congregate the other side of the water in front of Cass. This meeting will be recorded and published on the Council's website. By entering the Council chamber, you are accepting that you will be recorded and your images will be retained and broadcast by the Council. If anyone intends to record today's meeting, please ensure that this does not disturb the conduct of the meeting. Please ensure that your mobile phones are switched to silent mode. Thank you. I will now commence the meeting. Item 1. Apologies for absence. We have no apologies for absence today. Is that correct? Thank you. Item 2, exclusion of the public and press. Agenda items 8 and 9 are not exempt reports. However, appendices to the reports contain exempt information relating to the financial or business affairs of any particular person, including the authority holding that information, as defined in paragraph 3 of Part 1 of Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972 as amended. Therefore, if members wish to discuss the information contained in appendices, the public and the press will be excluded from the meeting whilst members deliberate in private. Members of the public and press will be invited back into the meeting after the deliberations are concluded. Is that agreed? Item 3, public statements and questions. A question has been received from Mr. Y. Ming Yao in relation to agenda item 6, South Yorkshire Airport City. Final approvals required to support the full reopening of the airport. Mr. Wao Ming Yang is unable to attend the meeting. I shall read out his question. In relation to recruitment strategy for Doncaster Sheffield Airport through the Pathways to Work and Adult Skills Programme, what proportion of airport and associated South Yorkshire Airport City roles does the Council expect to fill through these schemes, and how will it ensure that local residents, particularly those currently unemployed or in low-skilled work, benefit from the new opportunities? So I would like to thank you for the question, and I will now respond. Significant work is underway, including an aviation and skills partnership which has been created and includes membership from key influential South Yorkshire public and private organisations operating within the aviation and education sectors. This multi-agency skills board is keen to ensure the right skills pipeline is in place for a multitude of aviation companies in order to maximise local employment and investment benefits and coordinate workforce planning, training provision, and ensure continued engagement between employers and potential employees. Through this framework, we hope to stimulate and develop the skills base of local residents to access the many opportunities that will be created at the airport. A copy of the response will be forwarded to him following the meeting. Item 4, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest, please? Thank you. Item 5, decision records from the meeting held 8th of October 2025. These have been previously circulated and are for noting only. Agreed? Agreed. Item 6, to accept grant funding from the City Region Sustainable Transport Settlement and from the Mayor's Sustainable Transport Fund to deliver sustainable transport improvements in Mexborough. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Glyn Jones, will introduce this item.
Thank you, Mayor. I am pleased to present the Mexborough CRSTS scheme to Cabinet for approval today. CRSTS stands for City Region Sustainable Transport Settlement. The report before us today asks that Cabinet support the acceptance of grant funding to the values of just over £8 million from CRSTS and £2.8 million from the South Yorkshire Mayor's Sustainable Transport Fund to deliver transport improvements in Mexborough. Mexborough is receiving a significant programme of regeneration through a range of funding programmes. In total, £24 million is being invested in Mexborough Town Centre, with a further £20 million over 10 years from the Pride in Place funding, which was announced by this Labour government in September. A full master planning exercise was undertaken in Mexborough with numerous rounds of community consultation, road traffic modelling and direct engagement with businesses. This master plan has been the catalyst for these schemes, including CRSTS and the Levelling Up Fund Round 3. The objectives of the whole regeneration programme are to revitalise the town centre, improve road connectivity into the town centre, enable public transport to access the retail core and improve road safety on Greensway for all road users and pedestrians. Environmental street works will be undertaken, including public realm, resurfacing, street lighting, CCTV and additional parking. Mexborough Ward councillors who were elected in May have been fully briefed on all these schemes and are supportive of these works. The LUF3 programmes of works for Mexborough are already underway. This includes street works on Bank Street, shop improvement scheme and the High Street public realm improvements. I look forward to seeing these schemes come to fruition, which will deliver the regeneration of the Mexborough Town Centre. I commend this, Mayor, and move this to Cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any comments or questions? Dave?
Thank you, Chair. It's a great improvement to make Mexborough better. We need these improvements so that people can access the services as much as possible. So thank you. I commend this report.
Thank you, Chair. I strongly support this report. This is not just an infrastructure project, it is a community investment. It is a response to the voices of residents, businesses and stakeholders who have long called for a better connectivity, safer streets and a town centre that is accessible and vibrant. These improvements are not just happening in isolation, they're a part of a wider 24 million generation programme aligned with the 2017 Master Plan and the Levelling Up Fund Round 3 investment. Together they will help Mexborough thrive. Colleagues, this is a chance to deliver real change to make Mexborough a place where people want to live, work, shop and spend time, a place that is safer, greener and better connected. Thank you.
I'm delighted to see this actually come to fruition. It's been a long time in the making and will enhance Mexborough and Mexborough's town centre. Therefore, I will ask Cabinet members if the proposal to agree the recommendations as set out within paragraph 6 of the report. Is that moved?
Moved, Chair.
Is it seconded?
Second, Chair.
Therefore, the recommendations are agreed. We move on to item 7. Capital investment and service enhancements at the Dome, Adwick, Durham Valley and Edlington Leisure Centres. Councillor James Church will introduce this item.
Chair, I'm delighted today to present some truly exciting developments for the future of leisure and culture in Doncaster. These proposals represent our commitment to creating healthier, vibrant communities through physical exercise and sport. At the heart of these plans is a vision of modern, accessible and inclusive leisure facilities that serve residents of all ages and backgrounds. We've listened carefully to what our communities have told us, and today I'm proud to present a set of proposals that reflect those voices. Let me begin with Edlington. We have heard loud and clear from residents that a swimming pool was the top priority, so I'm thrilled to announce that a new Edlington Leisure Centre will include a brand new 25-metre swimming pool. This facility will also feature modern changing rooms, a wellbeing suite equipped with Enerva technology and a pool viewing gallery. This £6.9 million investment will transform the site into a true community hub. Next, we turn to one of Doncaster's most iconic venues. Doncaster Dome, which is already going £15 million in refurbishment. We're adding a further £1.9 million to ensure this beloved facility continues to thrive. Planned works include repairs to the main entrance, upgrades to the building fabric, heating infrastructure and the roof. The Dome is a cornerstone of leisure in Doncaster and we're committed to preserving it for future generations. In addition to our existing investment in Adwick and Dearne Valley leisure centres, these sites will be further transformed into wellbeing focused hubs with new equipment, upgraded reception areas and meeting spaces. Thanks to successful Sport England bids, we've secured additional funding to support these improvements as outlined in our capital strategy. Importantly, these plans are designed to be inclusive for all. At Asken Leisure Centre, we've seen over 65% of wellbeing suite users aged 60 or above. That is why we're prioritising accessibility and modernisation to ensure older residents can continue to benefit from these vital services. This is more than bricks and mortar. It supports our strategic approach. Get Doncaster moving that supports building healthier lives, stronger communities and a brighter future for Doncaster. I want to thank everyone who contributed to these proposals, residents, council officers, partners and Sports England. Your input has been invaluable. Thank you.
Colleagues, does anyone wish to make a statement or ask any questions in respect of this, please? Sue?
Thank you, Chair. I support this report. The proposal before us represent a bold and forward-thinking commitment to well-being of our residents, with over 1.9 million in capital investments for the Doncaster Dome and additional funding for Adwick and Dearne Valley leisure centres and a brand new leisure facility for Edlington, which will include a 25-metre pool. As a Labour cabinet, we are not only preserving vital community assets, we are transforming them into modern, inclusive and health-focused spaces. Let me highlight a few reasons why this investment is so important. For health and well-being, Doncaster continues to face persistent levels of inactivity. A third of our residents do less than 30 minutes of moderate activity per week. These refurbishments, especially the introduction of the Enerva Wellbeing Suites, will provide accessible exercise options for older adults and those with mobility challenges. This is a direct intervention to improve public health. Economic impact. The Dome is a regional tourist destination. It attracts over 724,000 visitors in 2023 and has historically supported the financial sustainability of our leisure trust. By investing now, we protect jobs, stimulate tourism and ensure long-term sustainability of the wider Doncaster leisure estates. Inclusivity and accessibility. The design standards being implemented to ensure that our facilities serve everyone, regardless age or ability. This is about building a fairer, more inclusive Doncaster. Colleagues, this is a moment to act decisively, to invest in our people, our places and our future. I fully support this investment that will help us deliver a healthier, happier and more resilient Doncaster. Thank you.
Yes, Chair, thank you. Yeah, this investment into our leisure services infrastructure is particularly welcome because over the last few years we've seen many facilities that have ceased to exist in other cities, county councils and boroughs across England and Scotland and indeed Wales. So showing that we are investing in our leisure services makes a statement for us and our Doncaster residents. So I thank you, Chair.
So is there a proposal to agree the recommendations as set out within paragraphs 18 to 22 of the report, please?
I propose that, Chair.
Is it seconded?
Second, Chair.
Therefore, the recommendations are agreed. Thank you. We now move on to item 7, setting the fee for sale of biodiversity units from Red House Farm Habitat Bank. Can I remind members that Appendix 1 to the report is exempt? If any member wishes to discuss the appendix, the public and press will be asked to leave the room and be brought back into the room following those deliberations. Councillor James Church will introduce this item.
Chair, the report before us today is regarding the Council's Red House Farm Habitat Bank. Habitat creation on the Habitat Bank began in September 2023 and was completed in January 2025, following the original Cabinet decision to open a Habitat Bank on the site. The Habitat Bank will create 1.692 biodiversity units that can be sold on the open market to allow developers to offset the biodiversity impacts associated with their developments. The report recommends members approve setting the price for selling a biodiversity unit from the Red House Farm Habitat Bank at £21,000 plus VAT. It also recommends this fee is reviewed annually. If the business case changes to ensure the project remains cost neutral to the Council. The report discusses how the project must be legally secured and registered on the National Sites Register. This will be done through a conservation covenant with Barnsley Council acting as a responsible body. The Council is free to choose who it sells biodiversity units to. Unit sales can therefore be directed in preference to support council-led schemes or local Doncaster businesses in offsetting their biodiversity impacts. The setting of fees for the sale of biodiversity units will allow the Council to recover their costs in delivering this project, while simultaneously supporting the economic growth and development of Doncaster businesses. Thank you, Chair.
Does anyone wish to add anything to the statements in front of us? No, and therefore I welcome the biodiversity units that's going to be at Red House Farm, and this is actually showing what Doncaster is doing for the air quality and everything else to do with biodiversity as we go forward to hopefully reach net zero in the years to come. So therefore, is there a proposal to agree the recommendations as set out? Or within paragraph 3? Is it seconded, please?
Second.
Therefore, the recommendations are agreed. Thank you. We now move on to item 9, South Yorkshire Airport City. Final approvals required to support the full reopening of the airport. I will introduce this item. Can I remind members that Appendix 1, 2 and 3 of the report are exempt? If any member wishes to discuss the appendices, the public and press will be asked to leave the room and be brought back into the room following those deliberations. Fully reopening Doncaster Sheffield Airport is my #1 priority. As I have said previously, this is the people's airport, and in the medium to long term, it can be the jewel in the crown of Doncaster and South Yorkshire economy. A fully reopened Doncaster Sheffield Airport will be a catalyst for jobs and skills, better transport links, new housing and economic growth, offering unrivalled opportunities and impact across Doncaster, South Yorkshire and the North, and is seen as an asset and opportunity of national significance. Supporting a thriving airport and its long-term future would ensure a positive and optimistic future for Doncaster and the wider region. The report states that a proposition that utilises external resources for the purpose of reopening the DSA, which acts as a catalyst for housing, jobs, skills and economic growth, are hugely significant to Doncaster. The rationale for the recommendations is to provide the very best possible scenario for Doncaster. Simply, there is no other proposition that can deliver this impact and scale of opportunities. The report brings together the financial approvals required, as well as an overall funding outlook and forecast. It asks for the approval for the remaining financial elements, including acceptance of Simca's funding that was agreed in September. In total, up to 160 million is available over the next 9 years across a range of funding mechanisms to support the airport relicensing process and early operations in order to get the airport fully operational. The report sets us with clarity and probity and challenges and opportunities, and that are inherent of a programme of this size and scale. The report outlines the work of South Yorkshire Airport City Programme, the initiative to fully reopen the airport, and stages that have been completed up to this point, including the establishment of Fly Doncaster Limited, the council-owned operator, and the work with our strategic partner, Munich Airport International. Whilst passenger and freight forecasts are scoped at a lower level, of which some would consider prudent, these would rise as the profitability of the airport grows. There is also 20% contingency baked into the funding scenario. The funding provided to Fly Doncaster Limited is a loan from CDC, paid in part through the Simca funding approved in September. These loans to Fly Doncaster are set to be repaid to CDC with interest. The report also sets out that the airport and gateways will bring in considerable business rates which have not been included within the financial modelling before us today. With the investment zone designation and the ability to generate and use business rates, over the 25-year plan, this could result in around 300 million of income, of which 75% would be retained by CDC. Nearly every day I get stopped in the street or in the shops, and the number one topic of conversation is our airport. The residents and businesses of Doncaster are incredibly passionate, like me, want to see our airport fully reopened as soon as possible. As I announced yesterday, I will shortly be launching a consultation to gauge views on how often our residents and businesses would like to use the airport, what destinations would you like to see served, and asking for any interesting stories when they used the airport previously. This is the largest single investment in Doncaster for more than a generation, with unrivaled economic opportunities for our residents and businesses. It has gone through scrutiny and extensive due diligence over the last 12 months, and now I just want to see our airport fully reopened. I ask that Cabinet support the report before us today. Thank you. Any questions or comments, please?
Thank you. Yes, Chair. I do today recommend acceptance of the funding from South Yorkshire Mayoral Combined Authority to progress at pace the Doncaster Sheffield Airport reopening. The business case projects 5,000 jobs directly by 2050 and presents a cost-benefit ratio of 9:1. As I say, Chair, I welcome this report, I welcome the funding, I welcome the opportunity to get DSA back up and running and provide Doncaster people with those well-paid, good, experienced jobs. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I fully support this report, which marks a pivotal moment in Doncaster's future. Our commitment to fully reopening of Doncaster Sheffield Airport and the take-off of South Yorkshire Airport City. This is more than an infrastructure project. It's a transformational opportunity to reshape our city's economy, connectivity and global presence. Well, let me be clear. The reopening of Doncaster Sheffield Airport is not a nostalgic gesture. It's a strategic investment backed by robust evidence. This is a project with national significance, regional backing and overwhelming public support. Over 130,000 people signed petitions calling for the airport's return. The message is clear. Doncaster wants its airport back, and we are ready to deliver. But this is not just about planes and passengers, it's about skills, jobs, sustainability and connectivity. Let us seize this moment. Let us back the fully reopening of Doncaster Sheffield Airport. Let us develop South Yorkshire Airport City, and with it a brighter, more prosperous future for Doncaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I would just like to reinforce what you've just said, in that this is the largest single investment in Doncaster for more than a generation. With unrivalled economic opportunities, it has gone through scrutiny and extensive due diligence at local, regional and national level over the last 12 months. And I think I speak for the majority of Doncaster residents and businesses, and that we just want to see our airport fully reopened. So let's crack on.
Thank you, Chair. I do want to speak about the project, the reopening of DSA, here in the Doncaster Metropolitan Borough area. We have seen a successful airport close. This closure was done because of a commercial decision. Overwhelming numbers of Doncaster residents want the airport open to deliver jobs, growth, innovation, wages, and to be a hub of assets to grow Doncaster's future. Doncaster Airport is a growth generator, and it will spur on Doncaster, its residents and its businesses to enhance Doncaster and its communities. This project is needed to enhance not only Doncaster, but its near neighbours too. For far too long, this massive runway and its associated activities has remained unused. When the south of England demands more runways for their congested airspace, we have the capacity here to meet demand. This asset needs using and can bring Doncaster and the services, jobs, training, innovation and growth Doncaster deserves. Doncaster, its residents and its community needs this investment for all our futures. I wholeheartedly support investing in Doncaster. I agree to the funding package to reopen the airport, South Yorkshire Airport City, and relicense Doncaster Sheffield as our airport. Who else will bring such a large investment vehicle to Doncaster? There is no other plan to bring large numbers of the jobs, the investments, the skills, the employment opportunities that this project will supply. Therefore, I support the reopening of our airport. Thank you, Chair.
And can I also add that scrutiny have actually responded in respect of going through the airport, and I'd like to formally accept their letter in our responses. So with that, I'm going to ask, is there a proposal to agree the recommendations as set out within paragraph 7 of the report?
Move it, Chair.
Is that seconded?
I'll second it.
Therefore, the report is agreed. The recommendations are agreed, and we have accepted scrutiny's letter that formally accepts what's coming. So with that, that concludes all the items that we've got on the agenda today. I thank each and every one for coming along to this, and I will now close the meeting. Thank you all.